Hey guys, Steve from Performance Institute. Wanted to do another session on move like an athlete today. And what we see so often is people are always doing everything in this front to back plane. So they'll be pressing, they'll be pulling, they'll be squatting, and not a whole lot of movement happens in this rotational plane. So you look at a golfer, a boxer, any kind of thrower, baseball player, and we're going to see good rotation from the hips through the legs as they're doing whatever kind of rotational pattern it is. And I think it's a good idea, be you a rotational athlete or not, that you're incorporating some of this stuff. We love doing this with our golfers. If you think golfers are always coming through that plane, they're rotating in one direction all the time. Do that a few thousand times and you're definitely going to start to create some imbalances. So what we can do is counter some of that with things in the opposing direction, working the other way. So I think that's always a great idea to do. And again, in order to train the body properly, it's going to hit your hips, you know, your adductors, your core muscles, everything differently, working in those multiple planes. And this is how we can keep the body nice and strong and also reduce injuries. So one of the things that we love to do here is medicine ball throws, and there's so many great applications on how you can do medicine ball drills. But one of the things we really like to do are rotational pattern drills, and that's what I want to show today. Is just a couple different patterns that we'll tend to do. Most people should be using somewhere between a 6 and 15 pound ball. You want to get high velocity here. The repetition should be somewhere between about 6 and maybe 10 reps. Typically, if you're trying to do power development, you don't want to do too many reps or it's going to start to dampen. On some of the testing that we've done, we've seen somewhere in that 6 to 8 range is usually the sweet spot. So think about that as you're doing it. It's not always more volume the better. We want that good sharp power. So one of the drills, we like a perpendicular medicine ball throw. The way I would teach it, have a good solid wall. I've got a 10-pound slam ball here, so it's not going to do a big rebound back towards me. So it's going to be a little easier to catch. So I would set up in a good athletic stance. I'm looking at the wall the entire time. I'm going to bring the ball back like it's on a conveyor belt. So I'm in this good loaded position. Think about driving from my core. And just like you would in a golf swing, you're going to be driving off that back leg, turning your hip, which will turn that back foot, and then applying that force into the ball to do that rotational load. So different ways you can do it, but typically we'll do a load and then fire. So I'll show you a couple. So again, it's working on leg power, hip power, core stability. That's a great way. So try doing 6 to 10 reps of that. That's a great way to work on raw power. Another one we'll incorporate to get into more of your stabilization muscles is doing it off of one leg, which gets pretty tricky. So you'd stand on the inside leg, drive that outside knee up, keep that ball back, and then you're going to throw that ball as the leg extends out. So we're trying to keep that stability through the core, through that hip, as you do those throws. So working on that, you can either do a raw power, two-legged stance where you can create a ton of stability and torque that way, or you can go to more of a stabilization type throw. But both those things, if again you're a throwing athlete or a golfer, use it for power development, use it for injury prevention. And even if you're not, if you've got, you know, a wall like we have here or a cinder block wall, something like that that you can do to really work on those rotational capabilities, fantastic, and good stress relief too. Anyways, hopefully that helps, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks, guys.